How often do you say to yourself, where did the day go? What if I told you there was a solution and that it doesn't cost any money? What if I said, all you need to do is track your time?
All right, I'm not gonna waste any of your time on a long and boring intro. It is 7:24 a.m. Monday morning, and this week, I wanna track where every single minute of my week goes. I wanna know where all of my time is going, because frankly, it feels like every day is just too short, I don't get enough done, or I don't know where the time went, and that changes today.
All right, how am I doing this? I'm using an app in the Play Store by the name of A Time Logger. Honestly, I just picked it because it looked like it had a lot of good reviews. I'm pretty sure any time tracking app would work just fine.
Let me share a little bit what I'm doing here.
I created categories for all the different activities that I might do in a typical day and began tracking everything. The fantastic thing about this app is that it gives you reports on where your time is going.
Currently, this time right now is going to the category of filming and prep. I also have a theory that just the act of tracking my time will put a little bit of fire under my ass so that I'm not sharing embarrassing results at the end of this week. All right, let's see how things go.
Why track your time? Peter Drucker, a famous Austrian-American educator and author of The Effective Executive, said, "What gets measured gets managed." This is a bigger deal than you might think. It's pretty simple. If you're trying to manage your weight, you need to track what you're consuming and how much, as well as how many calories you're burning. If you're trying to manage your money, you need to track exactly how much you're making and where that money is going. And if you're trying to manage your time, you need to track exactly where it is that your time is going. I was surprised to find that I seem to have the habit of putting a little bit of effort in a lot of different things. Kind of like I enjoy the feeling of being busy more than I seem to enjoy getting things done. That's not good. So I had no plans to go to the supermarket today, but I just realized that I don't have any almond milk or bread for tomorrow. And I just went a few days ago, so this kind of is showing me that I have a little bit of a planning issue. Even though the supermarket's just a few blocks away, this is time that's going into something that I hadn't even planned to do today. Going to the grocery store obliterated an entire hour of my day. There's an expression used in the financial world that feels very relevant to this. They call it death by 1,000 cuts. This refers to the fact that it's the little expenses that add up and that will cripple you financially. $5 here or $3 there doesn't seem like much, but over a lifetime, it adds up. The same can be said of time management. We've forgotten how to stick to particular tasks because we're bombarded with notifications all day long. All right, so everything's in my backpack or in these plastic bags that I brought to the supermarket. We're not gonna waste plastic. I'm trying to rush back right now because I wanted to do some street photography before the light's gone. See, this is the problem with not planning properly your day.
All right, it is 8:35 a.m. Thursday, so we're in day 4 of this experiment, and I think it's time to do kind of a checkup on where we're at with things. Okay, so I've got 3 full days of data that I can now look at, fortunately, because of the fact that I'm tracking everything. Let's assess the damage here. Wow. Well, first of all, I think what sort of strikes me is the fact that sleeping automatically takes about a third of my day. I think we all know that, right, if we sleep around 8 hours a night, but it's still, just seeing it in the pie chart, it's just a reminder that the time we actually have is less than we think. Okay, wow, this is crazy. So I've gone into calendar view to look at how my time is split up throughout the day, and it looks like some sort of horribly designed striped t-shirt or something. I am absolutely all over the place. It seems like I cannot stick to one task. This is crazy and like embarrassing. This says to me that I'm sort of tackling my life, at least lately, as kind of like a game of whack-a-mole, where as soon as things come up, I'm putting my attention and energy towards them instead of staying focused on the stuff that I plan to do. I mean, looking at this, I definitely don't think I'm harnessing the power of like deep work, for example, right? Which requires you to sit down and get into the zone for a while. It's difficult because, you know, the truth is I do get kind of antsy sometimes when I'm sitting down for too long, when I'm editing, whatever. So I think what I need to do is sort of take the lesson here and try and correct this for the remainder of the week. I'm gonna try and block out my time so that even if there's a distraction or something comes up or I wanna check my phone, I'm not allowing myself to do that to see if I can get more done if I just stay focused on a task for a longer period of time. I definitely want to end my week strongly, so there's no time to waste.
Look, the truth is I want this video to show an amazing transformation, that all of a sudden I became this productivity machine and it was happily ever after. But guess what? I'm not here to lie to you. The truth is a lifetime of time mismanagement doesn't just end in 1 week. Deeply ingrained habits, both good and bad, don't disappear overnight.
That being said, I don't consider this week a failure at all. I realized over the course of the last 7 days that this is a way bigger deal than I thought. Tracking my time brought an immense amount of awareness and understanding as to where it is my time is going. If I can begin to curb some of my bad habits, as I did this week, in little ways, I think I can see a huge difference in my life. But I could only start to do that by knowing where the problem is. You know, we're not machines, not every minute has to be put to optimal use, but I do think that small adjustments, a little bit of awareness, and a little bit of discipline can make a huge difference. Over the second half of this last week, I was intentional about trying to block out periods of time for just concentrated work, and I feel like that had an impact. I feel like I was able to get more done. I don't think I'm gonna be so intense about it and track every single minute, but I do want to continue to track certain activities to know how much time's going into different aspects of my life. There are a lot of great books on this topic. One that I would recommend is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. This was a book that was recommended to me by Chloe Kian, who's another content creator online. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that subscribe button. All of my content revolves around mental clarity and productivity, and I try to make it fun. I try to make it more approachable. You can also sign up to my newsletter for updates, and I'm also using that as a way to share some of the cool stuff that I'm discovering. I have a Patreon page where you can support this project and get access to exclusive content like behind the scenes or videos that I don't even release on this channel. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram. I do live streams every Sunday. That's a great way for me to kind of connect with you guys and answer questions, and also you get a chance to see an unedited version of me. Alrighty, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.